What are you doing?
Watching the game?
No, what are you doing?
Don't.
No, it's just pregame. We have work to do. Come on.
Fine. I'm making sausage and sauce, though.
At Hollywood with Smash Bros, we're going to smoke some wings. Now, what I did with these last night is I brined them. Now what that does is, through reverse osmosis, it breaks down the cell wall. In goes the brine with the salt, sugar, and whatever. Out goes the water. It just makes it so much more delicious. But the brine I used was a gallon of water, half cup of dark brown sugar, half cup of kosher salt, and a half tablespoon of black pepper. So let's get these babies in the smoker. I put those wings on at 225. I feel like that's like the perfect temperature for smoking the wings. Pro tip, if you have a vessel to keep the drippings, it's phenomenal. Smoked chicken broth, it's dank. All right, the first sauce we're gonna make is a stone fruit habanero wing sauce. So, we're gonna take 3 peaches and 3 nectarines. Cut the pit out. We don't want to eat that. Can't eat that. Gotta remember to follow that pit with your knife, or else you're just gonna slice right into it and break a chunk off, and that's just not what you want to do.
You're not gonna have a good time.
No. And since not all fruits are created equal, we will be testing this sauce throughout the cooking process to make sure if we need to add, more sugar, any salt. Now it's time for the spicy boy. I'm gonna do 4 of these. I can just smell the heat.
I can smell it from here. It's pungent.
Taking out the seeds. These things do pack a lot of flavor. They have an awesome natural sweetness. That's why you always see like mango habanero or pineapple habanero. It just goes really well together. It even smells sweet, but hot.
It does.
Deathly hot. All right, I'm gonna clean this cutting board and knife. All right, so for now I'm gonna add roughly a 1/4 cup of rice vinegar. Hopefully that's enough. Again, we will have to taste this throughout the process. Next, I'm gonna grate up some ginger. I like to cut off the nubs, make it easier. Take the back of your knife and just scrape the peel off. You don't need a peeler, you just scrape with the back of your knife. This isn't entirely necessary since we're gonna throw in the Ninja, but better safe than sorry. About a teaspoon right there. We'll save that for later. Roughly a tablespoon of the W sauce. Okay, cilantro, fresh cilantro in. That much. We are going to start with a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Might have to add more, not sure yet. Now, we will puree that in a moment. In the meantime, we are going to saute garlic and onion. One medium-ish Spanish onion, tablespoon of garlic. Now we're gonna add our onion and garlic. All right, we've got our onions and garlic just starting to brown, and at that point, I'm gonna add in our pureed mixture. I'm going to run all of this back through the blender, so don't put it too far away. Let it stir, turn it down so we don't burn all that sugar in there.
Don't burn the paprika.
Don't burn the paprika. Rule 1. All right, this barely came to a simmer. I'm gonna throw it back into the old Ninja. Now, I have discovered that we need to add another teaspoon-ish kosher salt. And I'm gonna say a good tablespoon brown sugar. I'm also going to throw in juice of 1 lime. And for our next sauce, we're gonna do more ginger. Not nearly as much as last time. Like so. We're gonna take about a tablespoon of chopped garlic. Now, another ½ cup brown sugar. ½ cup of soy sauce. And last but not least, for now, mirin, sweetened rice wine. It's delightful. Man, we mix that up and we literally just let it reduce. That's it. Set it, but don't forget it. So another ½ cup of the sweetened, seasoned rice wine. Delightful. Another ½ cup of the soy sauce. Another ½ cup of brown sugar. So again, we whisk. Bring it to a simmer, then turn it really low. So it just slowly reduces. Okay, you can see our sauce has thickened quite a bit from sitting and reducing. It's still warm, it's not hot. I'm gonna add the finishing touch, some fresh cilantro, because it's delicious. Because it's still warm, it's gonna get those oils moving, let the flavor come out. It's gonna be just delightful. I'm just gonna let that sit. So I just discovered that we had these tuxedo sesame seeds, so I'm gonna add them.
I'm Gingy with Smash Bros. I got that right that time. And we're just making sausages and sauce. That's it. It's easy. Eckrich Farm smoked sausage. Barbecue sauce and ketchup. Garlic. Done. Throw it in a crock pot for 4 hours and you're good to go.
Great for the game.
Great for the game. My dad makes this every year. And he will probably kill me when he finds out that I put the recipe online. I'll deal with that later.
It's very secret. So.
That recipe?
Yep, that recipe. Right there, the one that you're looking at right now.
So furious.
Worth it.
So furious. I love you, Dad.
Hashtag Dad Bros.
That's it. That's all it is. Just cut the sausage.
Now throw all that meat in there. Yeah, Daddy.
Yeah, miss a couple. You got to. It's part of the recipe. Watch how easy this is. We're gonna go 1 1/4 tablespoon of garlic. And then you cover it.
Is that a
Turn
legit
it on.
recipe there? Is that legit?
You don't want to stir that, or?
Yeah. Yeah, eventually. Don't forget, it's okay to spill them. It's part of the recipe. And this is going to get a lot easier to stir once it starts cooking. You want these smoked sausages to look like when you try to scrape off the sauce, you want it to look the same color as the sauce. And it's done.
Alright, next we're going to make some blackened nuts, deluxe nuts. Now, in other restaurants that I've worked at, I've used bacon fat, and that's what I would recommend at home. That's what I've done at home. We have here Wagyu brisket bacon fat and Wagyu steak fat that we saved. Now, you can totally use that if you have it, but regular bacon fat is just as good. I'm going to start with a tablespoon of fat. I'm going to add roughly about a tablespoon of your favorite Cajun seasoning. We're using the Zatarain's Creole. Add that right in there with your fat. And it's going to darken up the hotter it gets. That's what we want. And we have here some deluxe nuts, cashews, almonds, pistachios, hazelnuts, and pecans or pecans. What is it? I don't know. Alright, I want everything coated. We're not necessarily cooking these because they're already roasted. We're just adding flavor. You're gonna love my nuts. We're gonna add a little more. I put it back down. You can see that the fat is starting to smoke a little bit. I don't know if the camera's gonna catch that. A little bit. So that's the point. And we'll keep them moving. And honestly, that's about it. What you don't want is these to burn and waste all the fat. And the nuts, it's expensive, right? Alright, we'll throw that in a different bowl, a container of sorts, so the nuts can continue to soak up all that flavor. Fat, Creole seasoning. It's gonna be great. Okay, so next we're going to do the cheese stuffing for our bacon wrapped jalapeno peppers. Start actually about a 1/4 teaspoon of smoked deliciousness in the chipotle chili powder. Good handful of some mozzarella, about a teaspoon of garlic. Now we get back at it. All right, I'm also gonna add some scallions. All right, so I've taken every jalapeno and sliced it in half. Take our spoon, let's get some of the cheese up in there. If you get your cheese mixture cold, you can just do it with your hands. This is a little more difficult to work with. It's not cold anymore. Anyway, fill her up. Next, we bacon. 1 strip bacon. And we roll. Now that is a popper.
Oh man.
I'm gonna do a bunch more off camera. I'm gonna cook them.
Heard.
Take a look, see.
Oh boy.
Okay, now they're done. I'm pulling them off. Let's do that. All right, let's make some vegan cauliflower wings. These are all over the internet. It's all basically the exact same recipe. We're just gonna do it like that with Drake's, because it's delicious. Got the greenage off of our cauliflower here. Enough anyway. All right, I go in half. Then you've got the middle part there. You can take your knife. Triangle cut, kinda. Rip it right out of there. Cut it in half again. Break it up into your little wing pieces. Anything left over, you can throw in a soup. Make some cauliflower rice. Whatever you want to do. First dry mix, which is literally just Drake's. So, alright. Do this with your hands if you want. You're gonna make a mess anyways, regardless. Now, for the wet, I'm taking, yes, more Drake's. Beer, whatever kind you want. Now that was a full 12-ounce can, and that was about
3/4 of it.
I might actually add this a little bit more. All right, so I have about roughly a quart of Drake's, and I have a tablespoon of chipotle powder, just to give it a little smokiness. Won't add a whole lot of heat, if any at all, but We'll taste the smokiness. Now, our oil is at 350. So we're going dry, wet, dry, oil. This is going to make a mess. Make sure you know that before you do this. It's gonna happen. There's no getting around it. All coated in the wet. The more dry stuff you put into your wet, the more obviously flour or batter is going to fall off, and you're going to need to add more of your liquid.
We're doing buffalo chicken dip, which is very, very simple. This is chicken that I'm shredding that I put in a pot and just let sit in some chicken stock. I season with salt and pepper and garlic for about 2 hours so it gets nice and tender. We're going to combine all this and I'll explain it as we go along. And then we're going to sit it in a crock pot, set it on low, go 2 hours, let everything melt, get nice and tasty. So I'm going to continue to shred this and we'll reconvene in a moment. All right, so our next step is we're just going to combine all this. I got 2 whole chicken breasts shredded here. I missed.
It's okay. That's part of the recipe.
That's
Part of the recipe.
We got 2 packages, 8 ounces of cream cheese. You just gotta peel it.
If you don't slap it, it doesn't come out right.
Also part of the recipe.
Ooh, that's a good sound.
That was a good one.
Then we're gonna add about 1.5 cups or 1 giant handful of shredded cheese. And then about 1 cup of your preferred hot sauce. Today I'm using this roasted Jarlic Horseshoe brand. Then we're gonna let this sit on low for about 3 hours, stirring as needed till we have a beautiful buffalo chicken dip.
Hang on, you said 2 hours.
3 hours.
We're gonna make the chocolate toffee bars. Just get a sheet tray with parchment paper or tinfoil. Spray it down so it doesn't stick. And then line it with crackers. Whatever crackers you choose, it's fine. Saltines. I've done with graham crackers too. I think the club crackers are best. Then you take 1 cup of butter, which is 2 sticks. I checked earlier to make sure.
That's a lot of butter.
Indeed. And 1 cup of brown sugar. And you wait for it to melt.
And the oven should be preheated to what?
350.
350.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, that's 350 degrees.
All of it.
About 350.
So we got her going. Should look about like that. You want to keep stirring it so the sugar does not burn, because that would be awful. So once it looks like that, you turn this off. And immediately cover it mostly. It'll spread out a little bit more once you put it in the oven. Pop it in the oven for like 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Approximately. And then chocolate chips. That's not enough. Spread them out as much as you can, but mostly just let them melt. Sometimes I pop them back in the oven, which is already turned off, so it's just cooling down, but just for like a minute or 2.
Soften them bad boys.
Yeah. And then once they're all soft, then you can flatten them, spread them, if you will.
What are you doing, Christina?
I'm just spreading out these chocolate chips, making sure to cover all of the surface area. So then you can add pecans.
We don't know.
I still
No
haven't-
one actually knows.
I still haven't decided how you're supposed to say it, but you can add them or don't. But you totally should.
Like
Put it somewhere
carrots.
cold for like an hour or 2.
All right, to finish these wings, we are dropping them into 350 degree oil. We did mostly cool these after they were done in the smoker. Just enough to crisp them up. Alright, put your poppers. Go ahead. All right, recap. We've got the sausage and sauce. We've got the buffalo chicken dip. We've got the smoked wings. We've got the cauliflower wings, Wagyu fat nuts, the bacon wrapped poppers, and the toffee chocolate bars. Sauce.
Oh, now you're gonna eat very few of them?
Yeah.
Wow, Shane. Wow.
Why?
Wow. It's cool. You only snagged half the pot before they were done cooking.
It was more like
Sorry, I was trying to escape.
Okay. It was more like 3/4. Let's not put it on Front Street now.
Habaneros yet. And this one's for you, fam.
Game on.
Cheers.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah.
Oh man, hot sauce.
It's a pepper.
Habanero.
Yep, that's a pepper.
Oh, anticlimactic.
And as soon as we cut, he's gonna be like,